Hello friends, welcome back to LitQuest by Jeetu, where we make literary theories and literary terms simple and interesting. Friends, in today's lecture, we are going to begin one of the most fascinating topics in the modern literature, absurd literature, also known as the literature of the absurd. In this first part, we will understand what absurdity means, how this movement originated, and why philosophers like Albert Camus believed that human life often appears meaningless. So, without wasting any time, let's begin. So, friend, before we discuss the definition, let me ask you a simple question. Imagine your daily routine. You wake up in the morning, go to college or work, return home, eat, sleep, and then repeat exactly the same routine the next day. Now imagine this continues for years. Have you ever wondered what is the ultimate purpose of all this? Most of us search for meaning, success, happiness, or achievements. But what if the universe never gives us a clear answer? This uncomfortable question is the foundation of the absurd literature. The word absurd means something irrational, illogical, or lacking a clear purpose. However, in literature, it has much deeper philosophical meaning. Philosophical meaning. Let's understand that. What is absurd literature? According to Abrams, absurd literature presents human beings living in a world that seems irrational and meaningless. In simple words, human beings naturally want life to have meaning. We want answers to questions like why are we here? What is the purpose of life? Why do suffering and death exist? And unfortunately, according to absurd writers, the universe remains completely silent. It gives no clear answers. This conflict between our search for meaning and the silence of the universe is called absurdity. So remember this simple formula, friends. Human beings search for meaning and the universe gives no answer. This creates absurdity, right? Now, let's understand why this movement became popular. The answer lies in World War II. Between 1939 and 1945, millions of people lost their lives. Entire cities were destroyed. Families were separated. People witnessed violence on an unimaginable scale. Sorry. So, as a result, many lost their faith in religion, politics, science, and even humanities itself. Writers began asking if life can disappear in a single moment, does it really have any fixed purpose? This atmosphere of fear, uncertainty, and hopelessness gave rise to absurd literature. Instead of offering comforting answer, these writers honestly portrayed confusion and uncertainty. Origins. Although absurd literature became famous after World War II, but its roots go much deeper. One important early writer was Alfred Jarry, whose play Oberoi, published in 1896, shocked audience with its strange humor and illogical situations. Another major influence was Franz Kafka. In work like The Trial and The Metamorphosis, His characters struggle in mysterious and confusing world when where nothing seems logical. At the same time, artistic movements such as Expressionism and Surrealism challenge traditional realism. Together, these influences prepared the ground for what later became known as theatre of the absurd. Okay, friends. Now, Albert Camus, one of the greatest thinkers associated with absurd philosophy. Although Camus himself did not like to be called an existentialist, his ideas strongly influenced modern philosophy and literature. In his famous essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, published in 1942, he asked a simple but powerful question. If life has no fixed meaning, why should we continue living? Camus believed that human beings constantly search for purpose while the universe remains silent. Sorry. These conflicts create the feeling of absurdity. However, Camus did not tell us to give up. Instead, he believed we should continue living with the courage, dignity, and hope despite life's uncertainty. To explain this idea, he used a famous Greek myth. Let's hear that story, friends. The myth of Sisyphus. Long ago, in Greek mythology, there was a clever king named Sisyphus. He repeatedly deceived the gods. Finally, the gods decided to punish him. His punishment was simple but endless. Every day he had to push a huge rock up a steep mountain. After hours of hard work, just as he reached the top, the rock rolled all the way back down. The next day he had to begin again and again and again forever. Now think about it. Wouldn't anyone lose hope? Wouldn't anyone stop trying? But Sisyphus keeps pushing the rock. Camus says this story represents every human beings. We study, we work, we struggle, we dream. Every day we repeat many of the same activities. Life may not always provide clear answers, yet we continue living. That continuous struggle is what Camus called the absurd, and this is the central idea behind the absurd literature. So, friend, in today's lecture, we learned what absurd literature means, why it became popular after World War II, the important influences behind the movements, Albert Camus' philosophy, and finally the unforgettable story of the myth of Sisyphus. Friends, in part 2, we will move to the theatre of the absurd, where we will explore Samuel Beckett, Eugene Ionesco, and the famous play Waiting for Godot through the storytelling. If you found this lecture helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to LitQuest by Jeetu. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next lecture. Bye, friends.